Some breaking news in the UK as at least 2 people have been killed and 3 critically injured in a stabbing near a synagogue in Manchester. The attacker was shot and killed at the scene by police, and authorities are describing it as a terror attack. Now, this is a horrifying and appalling incident, and it's very likely an anti-Semitic attack against the Jewish community. And when these type of attacks happen, it's very important to take a step back from the emotion and the anger and to be hyper aware of what narratives are being pushed out, which people are exploiting this tragedy to further their agendas. The first narrative which is emerging is one that links Muslims or Islam to this attack even before the identity and the motive of the attacker has been confirmed. The people who push this narrative will suggest that because of what's happening in Israel and Palestine, that Muslims are lashing out at Jewish people in revenge. What they're trying to do is deliberately conflate religion with a political conflict. Yes, there are extremists who exploit what's going on in Israel and Palestine to further their anti-Semitism, but to frame all Muslims or pro-Palestine supporters as anti-Semitic is also very wrong. At the same time, it is crucial for genuine pro-Palestine supporters to call out the minority of anti-Semitic agitators. For example, people who make vile comments like "we owe Mustache Man" or Germany an apology anytime Israel commits an atrocity against the Palestinians. This is not solidarity with Palestinians, it is pure hatred of Jews, and it fuels attacks like this. Secondly, you will also see anti-Semitic conspiracy theories being spread online, claims that this was some sort of false flag attack by Jews and Israel to gain sympathy. This too is very dangerous, because it just simply ignores the very real rise in anti-Semitic violence globally, and it once again reduces everything to "the Jews did it," which is a very anti-Semitic and dangerous trope. And thirdly, there is a narrative being pushed by the far right. The far right will very quickly jump on this tragedy to stir up division. They will try to pit Muslims and Jews against each other or blame migrants or asylum seekers even without evidence, pushing their clash of civilizations narrative. But again, remember how selective that outrage is. For example, when a white man carried out the Liverpool parade attack earlier this year, the far right went silent as soon as it was confirmed not to be a migrant or a Muslim. This is because it did not fit their agenda and they don't really care about the victims, only furthering their narrative. So again, I want to emphasize this was a horrible attack against the Jewish community, and we need to really recognize the real rise in anti-Semitism in the UK and globally. At the same time, we need to be very aware of the people who exploit this tragedy to further their own agendas, to further their narratives against, for example, Muslims or pro-Palestine supporters. And it's very important that all of us understand this in order to reject further division and hatred within our societies.